The mainstream media has been failing to fact-check Donald Trump, but I've got your back because Donald Trump just told his most easily debunkable lie yet. He posted this to Truth Social. "I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who is behind it. I disagree with some of the things they're saying, and some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal. Anything they do, I wish them luck, but I have nothing to do with them." And we've been talking a lot about Project 2025 on my live streams and on my subreddit. Go join. But this is a complete lie. First of all, if we go to the Heritage Foundation's website, of course the Heritage Foundation is a conservative think tank that created Project 2025, that crafted it. They posted an article in 2018 that says Trump administration embraces Heritage Foundation policy recommendations. 1 year after taking office, President Donald Trump and his administration have embraced nearly 2/3 of the policy recommendations from the Heritage Foundation's mandate for leadership. The Heritage Foundation releases a new mandate for leadership every election cycle, hoping that the Republican president, if they win, can enact that. And Project 2025 is their newest version and the most extreme version yet. Even President Reagan back in the 80s enacted 60% of the Heritage Foundation's policy recommendations. So the idea that Donald Trump all of a sudden wouldn't is bogus. But this article continues. The Mandate for Leadership series includes 5 individual publications totaling approximately 334 unique policy recommendations. Analysis completed by Heritage determined that 64% of the policy prescriptions were included in Trump's budget, implemented through regulatory guidance, or under consideration for action in accordance with the Heritage Foundation's original proposals. Not to mention, Donald Trump is buddy-buddy with the president of the Heritage Foundation, Kevin Roberts. Here's a clip of Donald Trump and Kevin Roberts. And if that wasn't enough, here's a clip of Kevin Roberts directly saying that Donald Trump will be responsible for enacting Project 2025 at a Trump rally.
"We've been working with all of them on one project since soon after Joe Biden took the oath of office, before any conservative presidential candidates had even entered the race. As my friend and colleague Paul Dans before talked about briefly, our Project 2025 has developed a comprehensive policy agenda, but even more importantly, recruiting people, 20,000 people to go into the next administration, hopefully to help take back this country for you and for your audiences. We want no credit. We want the American people, if President Trump is elected again, President Trump and his administration, to take credit for that. But it will also be a great sign if all of this is successful, that in fact, as we know in our prayer time, but maybe not every time when we're watching the news, that the Lord is still smiling upon America.
And if you slightly recognize Kevin Roberts, it's probably because he went viral a few days ago for saying that we're in the process of a second revolution and that it will be bloodless if the left allows it to be. Watch this.
But number 3, let me speak about the radical left. You and I have both been parts of faculties and faculty senates and understand that the left has taken over our institutions. The reason that they are apoplectic right now, the reason that so many anchors on MSNBC, for example, are losing their minds daily is because our side is winning. And so I come full circle in this response and just want to encourage you with some substance that we are in the process of the Second American Revolution, which will remain bloodless if the left allows it to be.
So this idea that Donald Trump is not attached to Project 2025 or the Heritage Foundation, we can just dismiss that immediately. Continuing on the Heritage Foundation's website, their own website, quote, "President Trump had an extraordinarily successful first year," says Thomas Binion, director of congressional and executive branch relations at the Heritage Foundation. Quote, "He put a conservative on the Supreme Court and he enacted historic pro-growth tax reform. This analysis demonstrates the lesser-known policy successes that his administration has been fighting hard to enact." This article reads, "Trump's camp says it has nothing to do with Project 2025 manifesto aside from writing it. Trump administration officials and campaign staff helped draft the controversial playbook and appear in its videos." And this article goes into detail about how many of the people working on Donald Trump's campaign, many of Donald Trump's closest allies, were the ones that helped draft this Project 2025 and the ones that plan to enact it. So he is just saying this. He is completely lying on Twitter, but who is surprised? He lied, what, 28 times during the debate? The Trump campaign attempted to distance itself from the conservative Project 2025 playbook on Friday. Despite significant overlap between Project 2025 personnel and staffers from former President Donald Trump's administration and campaign, Trump issued a statement saying he had, quote, no idea who was behind the project. Project 2025 is, of course, spearheaded by the Heritage Foundation in partnership with dozens of right-wing advocacy orgs. It has two main components. First, the 900-page manifesto with a wish list for the first 180 days of the next conservative administration, including to further restrict abortion access and, quote, dismantle the administrative state. We know all this. Trump disavowed Project 2025 on Friday, but despite Trump's claims of having nothing to do with Project 2025, his administration and campaign personnel contributed to the project, including Caroline Leavitt, his campaign's national press secretary, as the Biden campaign quickly pointed out on X. The Biden-Harris HQ on Twitter said Trump's press secretary is literally starring in recruitment ads for Project 2025, and it's a video of Caroline Leavitt on the Heritage Foundation's YouTube channel. It's the 2025 Presidential Administration Academy. This article continues. Former Trump administration officials wrote and edited massive chunks of the manifesto. One of its two primary editors, Paul Dans, who directs the Heritage Foundation's 2025 Presidential Transition Project, served as the White House liaison for the U.S. Office of Personnel Management during the Trump administration, among other positions. Rick Dearborn, who is briefly Trump's deputy chief of staff, wrote the White House chapter. Russ Vought, Trump's director of the Office of Management and Budget, wrote the chapter on OMB and similar executive orders. Peter Navarro, who advised Trump's 2016 campaign, served as director of the Office of Trade and Manufacturing Policy and recently reported to prison for refusing to cooperate with a congressional inquiry into the January 6th insurrection, drafted a chapter on trade policy. What's better than having a bunch of criminals drafting our policy? People close to Trump also contributed to the Project 2025's effort to recruit conservatives for administration positions, including appearances in promos and training videos. Leavitt, the Trump campaign's national press secretary, is featured in a promotional video for the Project 2025 Academy, along with Stephen Miller and other former Trump administration officials. According to the Project 2025 recruitment website, the Presidential Administration Academy is a one-of-a-kind educational and skill-building program designed to prepare and equip future political appointees now to be ready on day one of the next conservative administration. So the takeaway from this is that you should not believe Donald Trump. He is absolutely lying when he says that he has nothing to do with Project 2025, and we have the receipts. Make sure you share this video, make sure you hit the like button, comment a blue heart if you made it this far, hit that subscribe button. Most importantly, have a great day yourself.